You might have seen on YouTube over the last couple of days, people are starting to test for Darkness Ablaze, and one of the best ways to do that is to actually use Tabletop Simulator. This program's really flexible and allows you to do a whole bunch of stuff. So what I thought we'd do is very quickly show you exactly how you can use it to test for Darkness Ablaze, as well as lots of other Pokemon card sets, and how you can go about building decks and setting up your own game space so that you can play like we do on twitch.tv/the Sableyes. I stream there on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. If you want to come and see that over the next few weeks, we're going to be on Tabletop Sim, playing some Darkness Ablaze games, and you'll probably see them on the channel over the next couple of weeks as well. But hey, without further ado, what we'll do is we'll jump over to Steam, and I'll show you exactly how we can get ourselves access to this program, how we can build decks within this program, where we're going to get the assets from, how to build your own assets, and a couple of shortcuts towards the end as well. So we'll see how we go with that. Alright, so we'll quickly jump onto Steam and actually purchase this thing, get yourself set up so that you have everything that you need to play Pokemon cards on Tabletop Simulator. The first thing you'll need to do is jump into the store and type table into your search bar. That'll take you straight to Tabletop Simulator. Scroll down, it's about $29, $30, not too bad for this program, so obviously purchase one for yourself. But once you've done that, then head across to the Community Hub. This is where we're going to get our assets to play Pokemon TCG. So head across to the Workshop, and then once you're there, down in the search bar, go for Rebel Clash. It's probably the easiest way to find it. The very first asset that will pop up will be this one here, Pokemon TCG Up to Rebel Clash by Romy King. So this is the one that you're looking for. Just click on that. This is the pack that has assets for everything that you could possibly need to play Pokemon TCG. We'll have a look in the actual program in a second, but there are literally thousands and thousands of cards here for you to play with. Just scroll down to this section here, hit subscribe. I'm already subscribed, so don't worry about that. Hit subscribe, and that will add that particular asset to your collection. Now, if you're looking to test Darkness Ablaze, then we probably need more than just Rebel Clash. So we'll search for Darkness Ablaze, and that will take us to this mod here by Point Blank. Alright, so P0 int 1 ank, right? That's the one you're looking for. Click on that one, and again, subscribe to that particular asset. This will give us assets in-game for a bunch of the new cards. Now, it's not all of them, and I think Point Blank did say that he is in the process of updating in one of his tweets that I was having a look at earlier. So there may be new assets added, but this will get you started on playing PTCGO on the particular with the particular cards that you're going to need for Darkness Ablaze on Tabletop Simulator. What we'll do is we'll jump across to the program now and show you exactly how everything works over there. Well, now that you're into the game, I'll show you exactly how we're going to access this stuff. Firstly, you want to create a room. Go single player just for the moment to set yourself up. It's probably going to be easier. There'll be a whole bunch of stuff here. But if you go to the Workshop tab, you'll see I've only got two things in my workshop. We have Pokemon TCG Up to Rebel Clash and Darkness Ablaze testing. So the two things that we have, the two sets of assets that we have subscribed to. What we'll do is we'll jump across to the Pokemon TCG Up to Rebel Clash first, and I'll show you how this particular mod works, and we can import some of the assets from over here. So we'll just load this one up, and we'll show you how it works. So it might take a second for you to load, depending on how fast your computer is. It'll ask you a couple of little questions here. There's a couple of tablets that you can use in this program. They'll open up websites like PokemonCards.com and the Pokemon rules. If you just click cancel, then it doesn't really matter. This is your game space here. And it seems pretty empty right now, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can actually do here. On the left-hand side, there are these grey bags and the red bags. Inside those bags are every single Pokemon card that has ever been released in high quality at the top and a low quality down the bottom. So depending on how you want to build your decks, if you want to build a low quality image deck, then the grey ones. If you want to build it with high quality stuff, then build it with the red ones. In my experience, it doesn't really matter too much, but you've got all the way down from the original sets through until Sword and Shield. So we'll just focus on Sword and Shield for the moment. If you right click on this bag, it'll bring up a menu for you. There's a whole bunch of options here. The most important one for us right now is search. So search will open up the contents of that bag. Now for this particular bag, the Sword and Shield one, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. We've got League Battle Decks, we've got Trading Card Game, Battle Academy, we've also got promos, Sword and Shield set, and Rebel Clash. So what I'll do is I'll just use Sword and Shield for an example. What you do is you just click that, and then drag and place it on your table, and it will drop a box that looks just like your pre-release boxes, right? So that pre-release box contains every card from the Sword and Shield set. Again, we'll right-click on that, click Search, and in here we have Sword and Shield theme decks, and our Sword and Shield set. Now we can click and drag that, and drop that on the table, and that will give us access to all the cards. Now if we just click that, pull it out, there'll be a big stack of cards. There's 219 cards there. Every single card from Sword and Shield is in this stack, and we can grab as many as we want. Look at this. Whoops, I actually accidentally picked up the thing there. We've got 3 complete sets of Sword and Shield. Now, if you want to get rid of something, maybe it's taking up too much space or it's just annoying you, just click Delete or Backspace, and that will get rid of them. And then you'll have your big stacks of cards. Now, I'm holding this click down here to pick up the entire set. If you just want to pull one card off at the top, just click once and pull it out nice and quick, and every single card will come with it, which is pretty nifty. Unfortunately, I've not been able to drop them back into a group there. There they go. And put that Sableyes back. Now, if you want to find a specific card, we can right-click on this one again. We'll go into Search. It will show us every single card that's in this set and every artwork. Now, my face is covering up part of it, but you can see here we've got all sorts of cards. So let's just say I want a Zacian V. I can just click and drag that, pull it out. There it is. It is on the table. Let's just say, for example, though, that I don't want just one Zacian V, I want a bunch. Now, I can do a couple of things here. I can just Control-C and Control-V like I would on any other program. So just hover over the card, click Control-C and then Control-V, and it will drop a new copy of that card. Or you can right-click and select the Clone button in that menu, click Clone, and it'll give you this little floating Zacian here where we can put down as many copies of that card as we want. Wouldn't it be great if we could just do that in real life? So we'll just put Zacian back into the deck. That's how you build your decks, right? So essentially you're just going to go through each of these sets. You've got Sword and Shield here, Sun and Moon here. You're going to go through all of these cards, pull out the ones you want, and then put together your 60 cards. But what if we want to use some of the cards from Rebel Clash? Let's jump into one of the other asset group, and we'll show you how to do that. So we just jumped across into the Darkness Ablaze asset group. I don't want to get that one wrong. And it's effectively the exact same situation, except this is obviously a much smaller table. If you want to, you can just use this particular setup. Point Blank's provided us with a whole bunch of supporters, tools, stadiums, items, as well as our key supporters and our key support Pokemon up here. These 5 Pokemon here are the Pokemon that he's selected as cards that you're probably going to want to play. If you're looking for other Pokemon from Darkness Ablaze, they're in this pile here, and there is also some techs and energies in here. We've got a little energy stack too. So you can build stuff in this one, but sometimes there aren't all of the cards that you need. So what you can do is you can just click and drag select all of these cards if you'd like. Then if we press the letter G, it will group every single one of those cards together. We can go do the same thing in this particular menu here. So if I was to pull one of those cards there, right click, and then we go to the group section, wherever that is. There it is, group, and it will draw them together. If we want to just take all of these cards that are in this pile and move them across to our previous deck building area, then we can just go down to the save object section. We'll click that, choose a name, so I might just say, I don't know, stuff. Click save, and that will save that stack of cards as an asset for you to use in our other building space. So we'll jump across back to the original building space and show you how to put some decks together. Okay, so we're in our original building space now. I have already been building some decks. We've got a couple up here that I can use as examples, but this is just how I've gone about building stuff. I've just pulled out all the cards that I want to use and placed them on the table, and if I need more, I can just Control-C, Control-V. Now I've got 100 million crushing hammers. Isn't that fun, right? We can really annoy your friends by doing that. But yeah, we can just grab the cards that we want. These Darkness Ablaze cards, we save them as an object, so we can just click Objects in the top here, click that one, go saved objects, find your particular object that you saved. Now this is ours here, DAR stuff. We just click that across, and there they are. That's every single card from our previous space. Alright, so we've got every single one of those cards there. Now, once we've finished building a deck like these ones here, let's just use Eternatus. This is one that Blake has built for us. This Eternatus deck here is finished, alright? It says missing 4 hide, but they're actually in there. There's 60 cards, right? Every single card that we need to play Eternatus is in this deck. So how do I get this deck to a slightly nicer testing space? Because this one's very, very big. All you need to do is just select that deck and again go down to save object. Alright, save object, choose your name and click save. I won't because I already have. And that will end up in the exact same spot where we've got all of these decks here that we can potentially test with. Now, these are decks that Henry and myself and Sam and Blake and Matt and all sorts of people have been testing with on this particular program. We obviously live stream these testing games on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, but I told you about that at the front anyway. What we'll do is we'll just jump across to my testing space and, well actually no, I haven't shown you the last thing yet. This is the last thing. Just bear with me. You can grab a whole bunch of stuff here. There's playmats in this bag here. There's coins over here. There's tokens over here. This is the one that we probably want to use. You've got dice, this dice bag. Alright, oops, I've accidentally grabbed the whole thing. Grab the whole thing. The dice and also the tokens are 2 things that you probably want to take with you. We search through the tokens bag. It has damage counters in here, GX counters. It has poison counters from every era. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you might like to take with you that you can use as damage counters, as well as like burn counters and poison counters, which probably are worth having. So we can just, you know, click that out, drag them down here. Here's a burn counter, right? We'll get those, and maybe our damage counters as well. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. We can just grab those out. There we go. Alright, so now we have access to all of those counters. If you're looking for dice specifically from the Pokemon trading card game, then you can go to custom dice. There's a bunch of weird ones in here, or you can go to the Elite Trainer box, which I prefer. You can just go into this particular one. Let's go Sword and Shield. I like Sword and Shield's dice. So we'll right click on that, search, and then we've got all of the stuff that we'd get from the trainer box. So you could use the damage dice, you could use the roll dice. Right, let's just grab them all out here. If you want to use them, you absolutely can. In fact, these are the ones that I use the most. They're probably the most realistic. They make me feel like I'm having a fun time playing Pokemon cards, right? So let's just grab ourselves, oops, not the dice, I want the tokens. Where's my token? I want a burn token, and I want a poison token, right? It's just as simple as that. Now, obviously, we want to use these in our testing space. Again, you can just save them, and we can head across to that space, and I'll show you exactly how I've set ourselves up to get the maximum amount of testing done in this particular program. Okay, so this is the testing space that I have set up that we've used on Twitch, and we're going to use on our YouTube videos as well to create some Darkness Ablaze testing for you. It's pretty simple, really. All I've done is just imported a custom image for the playmat, and then all of these decks were just assets, objects that I've clicked in. So I just went objects, save objects, and I just picked up, okay, I want this Houndoom Volcarona list. Click it down there, and there it is, right? So we've got multiple copies of those decks there. If we want, we can copy them, paste them. So if someone wants to play a mirror or something like that, it's not too hard to do. And then everyone has their roll dice and their damage dice and stuff on their sides of the board. Now, a couple of quick tips for you if you're looking to get started. Firstly, when it comes to rolling dice, like you can throw them and stuff, that's pretty fun, but it's not necessarily the most time-efficient way to roll a dice. If you'd like, you can just hover over it, click R a couple of times if you just follow it up in the air, and it'll roll a dice. Let's just went for 3 there, right? That's 5, beautiful, R, and it'll give us a random number. Similarly, if you're looking for this damage counter to work properly, then you're probably going to want to hold it and then like roll it around a little bit with the right click, right? So you're going to, like that. So you're going to click once and then roll on the table, move it to the right number, whichever number it needs to be on. So that's with left and right click at the same time. It's not too hard to get done. Another thing as well, if you're, let's just say we're playing Center Scorch, right? I've got this Center Scorch list here, but But obviously, I want to play this deck. I don't want to just have it face up. So I want to flip it over. We can right-click and then go flip, which is down the bottom here. It's also the F button. So if I just hold this particular cursor over the top and click F, it will flip the deck over. So I can just place it over here. Hit R a couple of times. That'll randomize the deck. If I want to draw some cards, I can click 7 on my keyboard whilst I'm hovering. And it'll give me a hand of cards. And beautiful, a Jirachi start. That's fantastic. When it comes to prizes, you just have to kind of draw them off one by one. You can stick them in a stack if you want. I prefer to have them laid out like normal. That kind of creates the illusion that we're playing an actual game. But whilst we're here, we've got a Jirachi, so I'll just quickly show you how I go about playing Stellar Wish, which is obviously a little bit weird. If you have a Jirachi in the active, if you press Q, then you should rotate the card. I've got mine set to 90 degrees, so that it turns a little nicely. You might not have that by default. Just change it to 90, you can just click on it, and it will go all the way up to 90. Makes it easier to spin your cards around. Then, I mean, you could just like lay all of these cards off individually, but one of the better ways to do that, if you just go into the deck and then go to cut, and slide this slider here until there is 5 cards at one end, and click the cut button, it will cut the deck nicely for you. You'll get 5 cards that you can then search through for your Jirachi. So I've got a Switch and a Pokemon Communication here. One other thing that might be a little bit awkward, let's just say our opponent has played Marnie. That's obviously a little bit awkward because we've got to have our whole hand shuffled and then placed on the bottom of the deck. It's actually really easy. Just hover down near your hand, control, so not control, just like click and drag, go through all of your cards. If I could just select them, that would be great. Oh my goodness, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why can't I select them? There we go. Click and drag. You're going to flip them all over. Right, we can move them into a nice pile. Right. Or if instead of doing this, you could just go like that, you know, and we could just click, drag, and then group them all. Oh my god, it's not working for me. Group them all so that they go into a 6 there. Then we randomize them. We click and bring the deck over the top and just stack it down. And that is effectively like playing a Marnie. Then obviously our opponent's played the Marnie. We're going to draw 4 cards. We click 4, and it will draw 4 cards for us. So it's as simple as that. Using this particular program is really, really easy. If you want to get your deck all back in the right place, obviously you might have a few more cards floating around. Again, you just go flip everything up the right way, then select all, G, group, flip it, and then you get to have some fun randomizing until you find the right card on top again. Then you go, just place it back in the deck like that. So yeah, that's how I'm going to go about our testing of Darkness Ablaze. It's not too hard. If you've got 30 bucks or 30 Australian bucks to spend, then it's probably not a bad way to go about it. It's been a bit of a long, awkward video, but hey, if you're looking to see some of these games, then stick around on the channel. There'll be a few coming up. We've also got some streaming going on over at twitch.tv/Sableyes, so you can jump in there as well. So just before I forget as well, if you're looking to upload your own cards into this particular program, it's not too hard. I mean, this Rhyperia V here wasn't actually in this asset group, so it was a card that we kind of wanted to look at. This is just one I've whipped up really quickly. I'll show you exactly how to do it. Please excuse the mess that's on my desktop when you eventually get to it. What we're going to do is we're going to click on Objects at the top here. You're going to go to Components. It's kind of hard to see because it's behind my head. Then we go to Cards, and then we click Custom Card. It'll give us this little situation here. We'll click on that. It'll create a little custom card setup for us. We browse some local files. I'm just going to go to my desktop. Get the particular image that you want. Click Cloud if you want to test with other people, and then go Upload. And then again, the stuff that you want to have on the back. I've just got this card back image here. Click Cloud and Upload, and then Import, and it will give you that exact card, right? So we have just put the image from the Rhyperia on the front and the Pokemon card logo on the back. Do make sure though that you get the same style, because I mean mine are a little bit darker, so I'll be able to tell. I'll be able to tell which card's the Rhyperia. That's no good. So that's it. That's all you need to do to get yourself going with Tabletop Sim. You can download those 2 asset groups and be set and ready to build as many decks for Darkness Ablaze as you like. If you can't be bothered with any of that and you just want to use the decks that we've pre-built, we have 10 of them, in our testing space at the moment. There'll be a link down below for just our testing space with those pre-built decks. You can also find those 2 assets down below as well, so they'll be linked down there if you need access to them. And hopefully you enjoy your testing of Darkness Ablaze. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share it around with multiple people, so share it with your friends so that more people can play, and we can get ourselves ready for the next format. Thanks everyone for coming along and enjoying this video with me. Hopefully we see you on Tabletop Simulator soon for some more Pokemon TCG. From the Sableyes, I'm Mitch. Goodbye.